So welcome everyone. Are you sure? It's like despite your tiredness, it's like you are even more relaxed. It's that this tiredness is not having victory over you. Yeah, it's not having dominion over you. It's that you are having dominion over the tiredness. No more fall and die. Nobody is falling and nobody is dying. Even the enemy here is not falling. And they are not dying too. He's been loved here. So, you know what the guy told me? The television guy? He said, he even himself wrote and said, I don't want you to talk about the tithe and offering again. That revolution has begun. And he said, your message is catching so much fire in Nigeria that let's take another topic. Maybe the kingdom, for example. And I thought it's a Muslim. Rufai, what? Oseni? I thought it's a Muslim name, but he happens to be a Christian. Can you believe it? And he said the revolution has begun already. I didn't know that those kind of personalities, they are the famous guys. And that they are really listening. So, who knows? You never know who is following those podcasts. They might not be there live, but they tend to be, it's like the word is getting around. And they said with the tithe something, that is, there is so much fire on that one. Just leave it alone. Let's start another one. Huh? I'm live. Oh, okay. Hello. Hello, Facebook. They said I'm live, oh. Well, nice to see you guys, and good evening. We're here in HMT and having the time of our lives, okay? So we're having the time. Let's greet them. Hello! Hello, everybody at home! Hello from Ukraine! So please go share the message, go invite your friends, go invite your colleagues, your relatives, and people you care about. Tag somebody, tell them to come join the HMT. This HMT has been a lot about personalities. And I think that by the time we are through, you can tell the world about personality. You'll be able to teach the whole world what it means to be a personality. Yes. And so here we go. Babush, yes, please. Can anybody put off the light? Okay. Here we go, Pastor Ernest. Yes, sir. Germany, here we come.
Yes. Whenever you hear God is looking for a man, he is talking about men who have formed their personalities. Men who have made their choice.
Now, when we talk about form their personalities, we are talking about develop their personalities. So whenever you hear of God looking for a man, he's not just looking for a human being. I mean, we have a lot of those. How many billions did you say? 7? So God is not looking for those. But out of those 7 billion people, he's looking for those of them who have taken time to develop their character traits and to develop the character traits of God in themselves. Those who have taken time to develop the heart of God in themselves. Those who have taken the time to cultivate the nature of God in themselves. When God says he's looking for a man, that's what he's talking about. Because a lot of people might be human beings who are be successful, but who have not taken the time to bring the heart of God and make it their own hearts. And they have not taken time to make the nature of God their own nature. God is not looking for those. Those are still a form of biomass. But the ones God is looking for, when he says he's looking for a man, he's looking for those who have imbibed the nature of God in themselves. So sometimes we think God is looking for religious people. But like I told the story in the beginning, when I went to that meeting with all those personalities all over the world, I saw the difference that these ones are the ones God is looking for. These people are more recognized in heaven People like Bill Gates, Warren Buffett, Richard Branson, all those people, they have more weight before God, in God's eyes, than the ones who are doing religion. You see, God is not looking for people who just have religious practices or religious liturgy. But God is looking for people who have his heart. He's looking if he's going to see himself in you. God is looking for people in whom he can see himself, his own reflection, who carry his heart, and who will act and behave like him. Those are the men God is looking for. So whenever you hear God is looking for a man, he's talking about men who have formed their personalities, who have developed the personalities of God, making them personality as a result of that effort. Yes, please.
Men who have made their choice.
Is the light okay? Okay.
Men who have burnt the bridge. Men who have decided not to look back. Men who have decided to leave their footprint on the sand of history.
You have to read that.
Men who have decided to leave their footprint on the sand of history. Men who have chosen to forego comfort for the larger good of others. Men whom others emulate. Men who live as an exemplary life.
Okay. Yeah, go ahead.
Next. Next.
Devushka.
Mere mortal basis here. Mere mortal.
These are qualities of mere mortals.
Mere mortal base their decision.
A mere mortal basis is
decisions mainly on how he feels at the particular time.
Okay. So if you are a person that lives by instinct or impulse, just what you feel at a particular time, you don't have a long-ranging plan of purpose or guidance, which is value that is guiding your action and reaction. Only you just respond to what is happening right now. That is what is called biomasses or mere mortals. Okay.
Take it again. A mere mortal bases his decisions mainly on how he feels at the particular time. A mere mortal.
So what is the option of that? What is the alternative to that? The alternative to that is that you have some set of value systems that always inform how you behave. So for example, let's say love is a value system. That's the nature of God. And because I'm his copy, I'm his image, I'm made in his image, and I'm determined to live like him. So I love all the time. So it doesn't really matter what is happening. My decisions are not based on what I'm feeling at the particular time. My decisions and my decision to love is not being based on what you do to me or against me. So I am living by love all the time because I have a long-ranging goal of pleasing him, emulating him, being like him. That's just who I am all the time. It doesn't matter. People are liking you, they are hating you, I'm loving all the time. But for biomasses, for mere mortals, they base their decision to love or not to love on what is happening. They don't have a long-ranging value system that is guiding their actions and behavior and their lifestyle. But it's not just love, it's kindness, it's forgiveness, it's other things, it's being a carrier of justice, righteousness, and equity, and all that. Truth. He's doing what is right at all times. He's being responsible. He's seeing problems. He's responding to problems. He's developing others, not looking for things. So it doesn't really matter. So when in my country, people say, "Well, Pastor, the economy is bad. It is the economy. It is the economy." They don't get it. Biomasses, we will still understand. They say, okay, the economy is bad, so you can cheat. The economy is bad, so you can, you can deceive, you can steal, you can be deceptive, because you want to survive, because the economy. That's because you have not formed. You don't live by a higher value system. You don't live by a higher goal. But when you live by a higher goal, it's not about what is happening. Economy bad or worse. You are living by a higher constitution. But that's what we call value system. So your value system informs how you behave, what you do at any given time, not minding what is going on. But mere mortals base their decisions. Can you imagine that there are Christians that don't talk to their relatives or to their mother or to their family members? Why? Because he hurt me. He did something against me. So, but they don't have a higher value system that informs them that no, my nature is God. That's why God said, you've heard that you should hate your enemy or you should do it. But I'm telling you, if you want to be sons of your Father in heaven, love your enemy. So you will always love, because that is a higher value system. Those are the things we call value system. But that's how you become personality, because his nature, you have decided to inculcate his nature into you and to live by his standard rather than how you feel. That is what personalities are. Basis is decisions on. So, for example, let's say somebody comes and hurt me. Okay? Or do something bad. I might act according to the law, put him in jail or in prison for him to change, but my attitude towards him still remains that of love. I want you to get that right. So yeah, I still do what I need to do, but I still love the person. For example, I have a friend. Let's say I have a friend. He stole my money. He stole my money maybe the first time, and then they say, oh, forgive. And I say, I forgive. And then somebody say, oh, if you forgive, you make him your partner in the next project. No, I won't, because I'm not stupid. So then somebody will say, but you are a Christian. But I still love him. I'm still loving him, and I still care for him. Even when I don't put him in my next project, that is an act of love. I'm protecting him. But in some people, so when Jesus is talking about Matthew chapter 5, when he's saying somebody slaps you, give the next something, he's not talking about physical action only. He's saying physical action shouldn't determine your heart's condition, your condition of the heart. So if somebody slaps you, for you, the message is teaching there is that don't hate the person back. Don't allow his action to affect the disposition of your heart. So if you would rather hate him back or do evil to him, then rather give him the other one. So the thing is it's not talking about physical things. It's talking about all the things. That's why I say, blessed are those who are poor, blessed are those who mourn. These are talking about the condition of the heart. So if somebody comes and slaps you, you might need to stop him and even arrest him and put handcuffs in his hand, or even knock him out. But your heart must still be a heart of love for him. So how can you love somebody when you have knocked them out? You don't have hatred. You don't have anger. You don't have bitterness. You don't have resentment. So even though he's knocked out, but you are the one still who pours water on him and resurrects him and see hug him. So if he has committed burglary and he has broken into your house, and you say, I forgive him, so let him go, then you are evil. That's not forgiveness. Because by him breaking into your house and you say police should let him go, you are empowering him to break into a house. By letting him go, you are a partner in that sin by letting him go and commit the same thing against her. I don't know if you get it. But what God is saying is that if he commits burglary, let the law take its course. Take him, arrest him, put him there for 10 years, but in the meanwhile, go and love on him. And let him know that you love him as much as you would love your neighbor or your family member or your son. You love him. You even come to bring some gift to him in the prison. Or you even come to pay for some of his expenses. Your heart is still tender towards him. That is talking about the condition of the heart. So why then am I incarcerating him still? Why am I keeping him in that prison? Because I need to protect him from committing similar offense that will result in a worse consequence for him. And then I also need to protect other victims, potential victims, like I have been. So I don't know if you people are getting it. So this is another aspect of Christ's teaching that people don't seem to know. All those teachings are concerning our state of the heart. That we should not allow things that happen to us physically to affect our heart condition. Just like Jesus. Physically, he took the whip and went and beat people up. But it was not an act of hatred or anger or aggression. It was aggressive in the physical, but it's an act of love. He's trying to get them out of, because they were out of the will of God. He's trying to say, no, you are right now in the wrong. He physically applied force to take them out of the wrong into the right standing before God. So you need to do what you need to do in the physical, but your state of heart must be love always. That's tough. Is it tough? It's tough. So feelings should not drive your heart. Feelings must not be put over principles. Principles must rule over your feelings. In your feelings, you might feel anyhow. In your feelings, you might feel anyhow, but your heart must take the preeminence. Your heart must still follow what God will do. For example, Jesus, when he was being crucified and slapped and beaten and spit at, I think the feelings were horrible because he's a human being. So I think he was feeling really bad. But he was still saying, forgive them, Lord. For the known. So feeling wise, he was crying, well, Father, why have you forsaken me? So feeling, he was really feeling bad. But he was following the dictate of the heart to still forgive them. So whatever is happening to you in the physical, let the principles of love, forgiveness, the nature of God always take preeminence. I don't know if you get it. But the place I see Christians missing it altogether is that they think that because God says to forgive and to love, that also means never seek justice or never allow the law to take its course or never respond in the natural by the demands of even nature and God himself. No, we should always remember one thing, that all these teachings that Jesus is talking about the state of your heart. That's why he says, if anybody would look at a woman and didn't sleep with her, he didn't touch her, but because of the heart, he has sinned, but he didn't touch her. So we should also always be aware that he's talking about the state of the heart. For example, he said, if anybody is taking you to the court, or you have a conflict with somebody, leave your gift, go and make peace with that person. That doesn't mean that don't go and do the sacrifice again. No. Still go and do the sacrifice, but go and do it later. Have peace. You get it? He's trying to say, put your heart right first. He doesn't say altogether stop going to church or stop the sacrifice. But if you are going to do the sacrifice when the heart is still wrong, it doesn't profit you anything. But if you go and make the heart right, then you can come back and take your something. The same thing with court. If somebody is taking you to court, go and make peace with him. Maybe if you make peace with him, there will be no need for the court. But if you don't make peace with him, then things can get really rough. So it's about internal state of your heart. That we should bear that in mind. So in the natural, the law must take its course, but our heart must be right. Because I have seen a situation whereby in Nigeria, somebody told me this is a life situation that these were many people. They came to a house. I mean, they were having a party. Can you imagine this? They were having birthday party. Somebody was 21 years old. So all the 21-year-old girls were there celebrating. You from university. So these guys, about 8 of them, came in with gun and everything, raped everybody. I mean, these are virgins, Christians, who are keeping themselves to be virgins. And then when they caught them, all of them said, because they were Christians, let them go. We forgive them. They forgave them, and then one of them repented. But all the rest that they released went ahead and did the same thing again. So they went to the dormitory and raped all the girls and killed security and all that. You think it's just they who are to blame? I think all those parents and all those girls who said we signed them to be released, they have to bear responsibility, because that's not what Jesus is saying. Jesus is not saying that don't let the law take its course. Forgive your heart if you can, but let the law take its course. I don't know if you get that. Okay, for example, in our church here, we have a lot of situations whereby some sons, rowdy sons, are drug addicts. And we tell the parents, because they are violent, because mothers, the fathers, most of those fathers, these are Europeans here, but the fathers, most of them, when their sons become unruly, and they just take off and take on the next wife. I mean, they leave the house when they get up for the woman. It's like in Psalm, in Proverbs. He said his bad son is always the headache of the mother, right? But the good one is the praise of the father. So when the problem is happening, the fathers just go ahead and take another woman. And then the women are always having it difficult to let the boy go, So he's on drugs, violent, selling everything in the house, beating everybody, beating the woman, just being unruly. So when they come to church, you know what we normally tell them? We tell the mothers, kick him out. No, but mothers don't, I don't know of where you are coming from, but here, mothers are always finding it tough to do that. Mothers are always saying, but he's my son, I cannot kick him out. He's my son, I cannot kick him out. He's my son, I cannot kick him out. He's my son. Mothers, it's tough for mothers. But when they obey, we are telling them that kicking him out doesn't mean you don't love him anymore. You see, that's where we have to also get a balance. Kick him out as a sign of love, to save him from himself and to save him from committing more horrendous crimes. So in London, okay, let me not mention the name of the church. A prayer warrior from assistant pastor woman from one of our prominent Nigerian churches decided not to kick his son out like that. Her son out, because she is a prayer warrior. She was praying. So she went to pray one night. A Yoruba lady, loved prayer warriors, pray. So she went and spent all night in night vigil. Came back on Saturday morning from night vigil, praying and demons, binding all the demons. And then the son was there saying, why did you wake me up in the morning? She came back at like 5 o'clock and he was trying to sleep. And so he just took the knife, killed that woman right there in the kitchen and just cut her into pieces. Yes, so, and because she would not kick him out. If she had kicked him out, even though it looks harsh to people, but she is coming from a religious background that she believes that Ọlọ́run á ṣe, you know, what do you call that? That God will, Ọlọ́run á ṣe ìyanu. God will do some miracles. But do the honors. Use, you know, so let the order of righteousness or right thing, do the right thing. But that doesn't mean you don't love, but still love him. Even if he's in the street, go and care for him with love, but let him know you have to do what is right. So loving doesn't mean keeping him in the house. Let me tell you another one. This one, I think everybody should know about this. This one happened right in the camp. You know, there is something they call camp in Nigeria, RCCG camp. The father had a house in the camp. He's a university professor. But the son is unruly. They were supposed to kick him out. But because we are living in the camp, and they are having Holy Ghost, this, Holy Ghost, that all the time. Papa is praying, Daddy is praying, all the people are praying. Everything will be okay. You will do this. You will be successful. You will not fail. You will not, you know, all kind of confession they give them in the church. And they are trying to tell. So they came back from also Holy Ghost, whatever, and they were telling him, oh, you will not fail. We have received a word from these people, from the dad. You know, the guy just got mad. He gave the dad a dirty slap. And when he knew that, I've done something bad, he just took it and killed the father right there in the camp. The camp. Right there in the camp. God of Oyedepo or Adeboye didn't do anything, though. God of Daddy nobody didn't do anything. Because, why was God watching? Because that doesn't mean you don't love your son. You would have supposed to have kicked him out. Don't just say because, oh, you see, that's what I want to bring a balance to. Right there in the church. Because we don't understand the Bible. You know, sometimes we take the Bible too literally. Love means keep up with everything. No. And the same thing happened with husbands, my dear. Husbands too. Some husbands are supposed to be given the kick long time. Because if he's beating you, he's not treating you like a princess. You are God's princess. And if he's beating you, any man that is beating you doesn't deserve to remain in that house for 24 hours. You say, but I love him, I don't want to divorce. Keep on loving him, but love him from the distance. Until he comes to his senses. When he behaves, then you can manage him. But if he's unruly, if he's going to, you know, but the Bible said, no, you don't need to divorce, but show him the doors. Love him from the distance. So it's the same thing like, so loving somebody doesn't mean that I have to be friends with them, but love them. Make sure that your heart, God knows, you know too, that you love them. But you don't have to be friends. Because the same with some family members. So, but what we do is that either we are totally angry and it's affecting us. We don't love. Then we break. But when we love, then we cannot break. But you can love and still put things in their perspective. I don't know if you are getting that balance. Yes. So, for example, if there is a family member that is always irritating you, love the person, but put some distance. But love and honor the person still. So even with your parents, even if they are your parents, that you know you are always going there, but they are always irritating you you are always losing your virtues, you know. Maybe you get angry as a result of being with them all the time. Or you have to lose your composure. That is not healthy for you. But love them and just give them the space and take the space for yourself, and rather from the distance, you know, show that love for them. Because if you are going to be in that state of aggrievement, you are aggrieved, then if you die, then your heart is not right. Then you go to hell. But if you give the space, at least you can love them easier from the distance, you keep your heart. No, I don't know if you people are getting me. But if you stay there and they will keep on stepping on you, it could get you to a place whereby you lose it. And then your heart is not, then you are wrong now before God too, because it has affected your heart. So when we are reading the Bible and Matthew, we should be thinking, we should know one principle is that it's all about the state of our heart. Your heart must be full of love, peace, righteousness, right standing with God. Love everybody. That is the kingdom of God. Maintain the kingdom in you. But in the physical, do what you need to do. You need to kick him out. Mm-hmm. Oblige yourself. The man didn't clap. You agree? A lot of mothers are suffering from this. Because they think to kick their son out means they don't love him. And they think if it's their son, they must stay with him. Or they must suffer everything he's doing. But Jesus whipped those people, I don't think out of love, out of hatred. I'm sure Jesus' heart was perfectly okay. Just like when they were beating him, he did something. Yes, he was crying, but his heart was okay. Just like when he went to see those people and he was weeping, but, he still had the power to raise him up, but he still wept. So emotion is different from what is going on in the heart. Because I got a letter, actually, let me even say, I got a letter when I was preparing before now. And this is coming from somebody that is a Ghanaian lady. Maybe she's watching us right now. I'm not going to give her name. But she didn't know me. But she said she accidentally came across Aarons, Dr. Aarons. Yes. He does video too, you know that. So he does videos, and because of what he was talking about, this lady accidentally came across him. And what she is saying here is very close to what we've been discussing. She said, I'm a Ghanaian married to an African pastor, but a Ghanaian lady married to an African pastor, but many see me because I want you to think about this. Many see me as a disloyal wife. I'm feeling right now that people are watching me from home. I can pick it up. And they are saying that, what I'm going to say now, they are going to condemn me and say that I am promoting disloyalty and rebellions and evil doctrines. But I hope God will help you to understand the idea behind what I'm saying. But I can feel negative things. I'm not seeing the comments, but I can feel in the spirit. I pick it up. Indignations are coming against what I'm saying right now, strongly. But I still want you people to hear this. So they're saying, I'm a Ghanaian lady, married to an African pastor, and many have come to tag me as a disloyal, rebellious, and unruly wife. And my sin is that, follow this, because this lady wanted to say, marriage doesn't stop me from being a personality. The fact that I'm married or I'm married to a pastor, I still want to be me. That's the point she was trying to make. But she said, they tag me like this just because I have decided to keep on loving Jesus. But to love him more than the rules of the church. To put my love for Jesus above, because when you are a pastor's wife, she is saying that you have some rules that you have to abide by. You have to conform with some church expectations of you as a pastor's wife. But she is saying, I love Jesus so much, I want to please him the way he's telling me to please him. Not to just, program myself to do what this denomination wants pastor's wife to just be doing. I don't. You are following? Okay. So she's saying, I love Jesus more than I love that church, and I love Jesus so much that priority for me is that I am doing what is right in his eyes. It's to stand for the truth. I love the truth more than I love the church structure. Okay? I love righteousness, equity, orderliness, and godly values. She's been listening to me because Dr. Aram sent her to she was listening to Dr. Aram, told him about challenges. She said, go to Pastor Sunday's YouTube, yeah. So she went there and she's been listening so much. So she's saying, I love these things. God's nature, orderliness, equity, more than truth, more than I. Now, this is where the danger is. More than I even love the family and the husband. I want to please God more than I want to please the husband or his church. But that's the problem in our culture. In our Christian culture, not even Africa. Christian culture is family is number one. You must love family more than God even. But she is trying to say, I love God more than I love the family. Now Christ is come. So I want to obey God more than I want to obey what they are telling me. You have to behave like this. You have to, more than the family. And if you behave like that in church and you are the pastor's wife, the first thing is, all hell breaks loose. And then all the church members are saying, Satan has planted a wife for the pastor that is, demon possessed or something. You see, this is what people don't differentiate between the love for God and religion. So she's saying, that is my sin. So, because even though I'm pastor's wife, my calling is to help singles. But the church would like her to do, pastor's wife, mother of Israel, and all, Baba Gio. She wants to go and look for women who have failed, or women who are single mothers, but you don't identify with those kind of former prostitute or prostitute. You are pastor's wife, But she feels that is her calling. Now you are in problem. So she said, it breaks my heart to see many wasting their lives and misplacing their purpose in the church in the name of marriage. She said there are so many people like me who have their calling and who know what they want in life, but because they want to keep the marriage, they want to keep the husband happy, they want to keep to the church rules, they want to keep to what is expected of them, so they remain silent, but they are dying in depression, she's saying. And she said, I was dying in depression because she is one person, nobody understanding her. All the fathers are saying, you are the wife. You are pastor's wife. You understand. So it is when now she said, I got you. I started to watch you on Facebook. Then I said, I'm no more. I am no more. I must be committed to God more than I'm committed to marriage. I must be committed to God more than I'm committed to church. I must be committed to what God is directing me to do, my calling, more than I'm committed to making church leaders happy. So she's saying, this is now the problem, where she really got into problem. She said, I told everybody I would prefer to lose this marriage and even these children, because the husband wants to take them, than not fulfilling the mandate and the calling that God has for me. I don't want to live and die like mere human. I want to please God and make sure that God is happy and make sure that my heart is happy that I obey God, rather than just want to please everybody else, just in the name of marriage or in the name of church. But so when she said, when I discovered you for many days, what I do, I just come to the office. She has her office and her staff. We just put on your something and we just wash you. That's what their own working day. Like because she has found understanding. But really, if those churches and pastors are a little bit more flexible and understanding, I don't see any problem. She wants to do her own thing, let her do it. Just like I was telling somebody yesterday, that if your husband, you are in the ministry, your wife wants to do something else, honor her enough to give her the freedom. Let her do what she wants to do. But if you want to go by the rules that, but you are a pastor's wife, you have to do what pastors will have to do. Do you know that in my own case, Pastor Boss said that you saw, that was preaching to you yesterday, for 4 years, in fact, before we married, she told me, I don't want to be a pastor's wife in the first place. So for 4 years, she would not even do anything. No, not for 10 years. But after 4 years, at least she went to the choir and started singing. Then she started going to the home group. But for 10 years, she never participated actively. She said, I'm married to you, not to the church. And I think she was right. Then I had an encounter where God said, who did I call? Is it you I call or her? I said, me. I said, hey. So why are you, bullying her? Bullying? Okay. Okay. Because I used to wake her up to pray with me, Is it your ministry or is your ministry? You make you do your prayer now.